Hi everybody from John's Model Works. What I have for you today is my very best effort with the old Revell Monogram Babylon 5 Starfury kit. The goal of this project was to make the best Starfury that I could with that kit and with all the aftermarket parts that I could get for it. The result of this effort can be seen over here. That's a merit award from the 2003 Wonderfest. So that's kind of a nice pat on the back. Let's get back to the model. The goal of this project was to create a ship that sits in a launch cradle, which you can see here. Just push him back a little bit. And to also beat the ship up a lot. This ship has really been hit hard in the wars. So let's start off with the lights for the engines. As you can see, we have 4 engines lit up. We'll get to why this one isn't lit up in a minute. The cockpit is lit up. You see that dim red glow in there? There's a little LED just underneath here shining through some thinned plastic that is lighting up the cockpit with a nice dim red glow. Give me a second here. That should give you a better view for what the cockpit light looks like. Okay, let's get a little closer. Still out of focus here. There we go, that's not horrible. The camera has a hard time focusing it with this much depth. So anyway, as you can see, we have a lit up cockpit. These are aftermarket cannons from Green Strawberry in Czech Republic. This is aftermarket missiles from a guy on eBay, Redshirt Models, I believe. The clears for the engines are the old Don's Light and Magic clear parts. The thrust vectoring vanes. Here we go. This is a little better. Much better. Okay. The thrust vectoring vanes that you can see here and here are also from Green Strawberry. These are 3D printed parts. The thing that I chose to do to try and make this thing more interesting is all the panel lines on this ship have been re-scribed. Just close in zoom here on this wing strut. So you can see what used to be raised panel lines are now recessed panel lines, and I recessed them as thinly as I could to try and get as sharp a line as I could. So they're nice and crisp, nice and sharp. That's probably about as good as I can do by hand. Alright, now you can see here that the this nacelle, which is not operational because there's no light in here, has been pretty badly beat up. It's suffered a pretty nasty internal explosion. So you can see there's a big hole here, another hole here, there's another hole up on top I'll show you in a minute. But I did this by hollowing out this from behind with my Dremel. So that I have a hole, another hole, another hole, and then I got in there and bent some of the plastic up, twisted it a bit, made it look as much as I could like metal that had been blown and blasted out. The paint scheme, let me see if I can, it still sucks, but whatever. I'll just bring this up a little bit. Alright, the paint, to make it look like that, is what I call my favorite lost salt technique. So the technique for that is you put down a layer of the base metal color that the ship is supposedly made of, aluminum in this case. You put down some really nice aluminum, then you get out some table salt and a little bit of water, and you'll build up some patches of water, and you're going to make a very thin, patchy layer of salt all around the hole. And you don't want it to be solid or uniform. You want it to be patchy, irregular, spotty. Once that is dry, you come along with your flat black and your burnt colors and your soot and all that other stuff, and you'll paint over it. And you can see that's kind of a rim around the painting of soot and blackness. Well, that's what that is. That's the overspray. After that is clean and clear, you'll come back with a wet Q-tip with just ordinary water and remove the salt and reveal the masked hole. And you'll see the aluminum underneath, but it'll have soot marks, pock marks, all sorts of interesting little bits and holes on it all over the place. So that's how you do this kind of a detail work. Try and bring the camera up a little bit so you can see a little bit better. Alright, so as you can see, there's quite a bit of scorching and detail work there. The main dorsal decal on top is an old Starship Modeler nose art decal that I've had forever. Finally got a chance to use it. It looks great. Turn that around a little bit. As you can see, the missiles are here. The missiles are Redshirt Models missiles, also 3D printed. They look very nice. Alright, let me just push it away a little bit so you can see a little bit better. The stand, the clear stand is my own work. It's just a sheet of clear acrylic cut up to look like this. Looks nice. Makes a nice stand. Okay, and get a better look at the truss that holds the whole thing up. 3D printed off of Thingiverse. Also the launch gantry itself, also 3D printed from Thingiverse. This was filament printed and then sanded and smoothed, so it could have more detail, but considering what I had to work with at the time, it came out okay. These pipes here are just some brass tubing that I formed to hide the wires, so they look okay. They're not strictly Canon, but I needed a way to hide the wires, and that's what I did. Let's just give you a look at around the backside here. The backside is nothing really impressive. Unfortunately, these vanes are not held on very well. I didn't want them to be, because I wanted to be able to move them. But that's okay. See, that's nice. Alright, so as you can see, the rear engines also all light up also. You can't see a whole lot of the details of the rear of the ship because the launch gantry is in the way. But that's not really where the focus is. The focus is really on the front of the ship with the cockpit and all the damage on this upper nacelle. So that's my very best attempt at a Starfury using the Revell monogram kit. All the aftermarket parts I could get. So thank you very much from John's Model Works. This is the Cursed Starfury. Thanks very much.